Roger Marshall from the great state of Kansas joining us. Senator, we're so happy to have you back here on Katz and Cosby. Let me get your reaction to, obviously, the big news, what happened with the markets and the tariff and what President Trump came out with. The markets loved it today.
Yeah, Rita, are you tired of winning yet?
Today, we won a lot. That's good.
There we
the
go.
world
yeah,
won.
I was elected in 2016 with President Trump, and the first thing I did is I went out and bought a copy of The Art of the Deal for every one of my staff members. And once a week, we would go through a chapter. And I tell you what, this is classic Art of the Deal, classic Donald Trump. I had confidence in him. And look, this is the second inning of a long ball game. I realize that. I'm not celebrating yet. This is a big day. I think we're going in the right direction. So I think we'll take it as a win. And again, let's go back to goals. I thought all along, I think President Trump has laid it out. Look, the goals of these tariffs are, number one, is to bring good manufacturing jobs, especially back to America. Number two is to force fair reciprocal trade agreements. And as your last guest, I think, started talking about, it's way more than just the tariff, right? There's so many non-trade tariffs we need to address as well. Look, Kansas can't sell a cheeseburger in Europe, in Australia, in Russia, or China right now. And it's not just the tariff, it's the non-tariff rules.
You know, it's interesting, Senator, too, because President Trump is really kind of hitting at all directions. A lot of them obviously tied to even Kansas. I mean, energy. Yesterday, he spent a lot of time talking about drill, baby, drill, talking about the coal mines in West Virginia. How important is that message? He's like, America first. Let's make us the greatest country we can be. And he's undoing a lot of the damage from President Biden.
Yeah, you got it. Again, it's promises made, promises kept. He said he would secure the border. He's done that. He said he would set American energy free. He's certainly into Kansas oil and gas industry, very important. I think the coal is another piece of the puzzle. I think it's a bridge towards the future. And I kind of come back to these manufacturing jobs, which are a big priority for President Trump. To have manufacturing in America, we need affordable energy, along with a few other things. But, technology is going to help us. Trained labor, we probably need more automation, but certainly affordable energy is a very key to bringing those manufacturing jobs home. And then I think about the AI data banks which are going to require huge amounts of energy. Bringing those back home as well to America is a great thing. So look, hasn't energy really led every great surge in America's productivity? It's always been a big part of it.
Yeah, no doubt. Ed Cox.
The senators, your state's very important, as you said, with respect to oil and gas. It's a major industry. Hydrocarbon prices have really dropped during this period while the tariffs issue was going ahead. It kind of was a hidden issue here. Why do you think the price of oil and the price of natural gas dropped the way they did during this period?
Gosh. So I know it's back up to $62 a barrel today is what I saw. We'd like it to be around 70 really to make money. I think whenever there's, rumors of war and rumors of the economy falling down, energy comes down as well. Because look, a lot of, during COVID, what happened is America stopped moving. We stopped driving our cars. So I think it's fear of the unknown, all these different things going on. So you're a better expert at this than I am. But I think when there's lots of unknown going on, that energy prices respond in that direction. That's my best guess. I'm not an economist.
Senator, you brought up also border, how important. One of the things that really stood out to me, Senator Roger Marshall, last night, President Trump was speaking at a big gala there in Washington. And one of the things he said, he talked about the border and just what a mess he was left with from the prior administration. And he said the Democrats' treasonous betrayal with open borders will not be forgotten, talking about just how it was really a free-for-all in this country. And some of the people that have been picked up even in the last 2 or 3 days with multiple murder convictions who never should have been in this country. And they just seem to have been let in. What a bunch of cleanup that this president has to do. And how important is it that all Americans get behind, at least getting rid for sure of the worst of the worst?
Yes, and by the way, it's going to be really expensive to do this. One more reason we have to get our reconciliation bill is to continue to fund this project. But, to your point, Border crossings were up to 10,000 a day, and now they're down to under 200. Joe Biden left us, I think, 400,000 violent criminal aliens that were led into this country. I know President Trump has exported 36,000 of them so far, but there's a lot of work to do. It might cost $100,000 per criminal to get them shipped out of this country. It's very expensive. We have $175 billion to get President Trump in this reconciliation bill to spend over the next 4 years to build the wall and make our families safe again.
Well, thank goodness, because that is such a priority. Ed Cox.
Yes, Senator, you did mention the reconciliation process and budget. Now, that's important. Votes are coming up. What are the real differences, and how do they get reconciled between the House and the Senate so we get it done and get reconciliation started? Yeah,
so the House is afraid that we're not going to cut as much money as they want to cut. And I think that's an error on their part. I really think at the end of the day, the Senate will be able to deliver on working towards a balanced budget. And that's so important. It'll help bring down interest rates, a whole lot of other reasons as well. So I think right now we're kind of jockeying for positions, and really they need to just pass the budget resolution. As you know, it's never signed into law. It's just a resolution. The real work starts when we're trying to figure out where are we going to cut the spending, right? But most importantly, what we do agree upon is we want to make the Trump tax cuts permanent, that we would like to add no tax on tips, no tax on overtime, no tax on Social Security. President Trump is insistent that we extend the debt limit, so I think the House agrees on that as well. And it really is going to come down to who can stomach the most cuts, or the most, where are we going to decrease the spending at? Everyone wants us to balance the budget, but I've never seen so much crying and gnashing of people in my office the last 2 weeks saying, please, don't cut our funding, cut somebody else's.
I hate to see a grown person cry, too, Senator. So the big question is, Senator, will it get done before the Easter break? What do you think time-wise?
Oh, I hope we get the resolution done before the Easter break, but the days are running out for the House. The Senate has theirs finished. The House needs to do it. And I think the goal would be to come back before Memorial Day. I'd love to see something on the president's desk. Again, I feel like the president is keeping his promises, but Congress has a very important job to do, and that would be to deliver on these Trump tax cuts. And again, President Trump always trying to figure out ways to help hardworking men and women, and that's the no tax on tips, overtime, and Social Security.
Absolutely. Well, Senator, thank you very much for all the updates on all this stuff. We're not tired of winning yet, as you started out there with, but it's great to have you back here with us.
Okay, well, it's great. It's an honor to speak to Mr. Cox. I hadn't seen him in quite a while, and so it's great to be with you all, and I'm going to be working hard to make America great again. So
you bet.
so
Make America great again.